to another edition of Make and Take Chaos. How have you been?
I have been okay, tired, which is relevant to today's topic, I guess.
It's been a dramatically long time since we saw each other.
Yeah, a dramatically long time. A lot has happened, I feel, in that time.
How long has it been? Like a good few weeks.
A good few weeks. It does feel shorter than that in a weird way.
It
feels
also longer.
Yeah, time is a weird concept. Oh, the heat wave happened.
It was very hot.
It's very hot now.
I mean, we did get a pool, a paddling pool, but a pool nevertheless. It's a children's one. Frank got it, and it was $12.99.
I'm so jealous of that
beautiful.
pool.
It was very cold the first day. We filled it up and I said, should we put some hot water in there, like to make it not ice cold, because we just, hose water. And Frank was like, it's like 35 degrees. We'll be fine. And he's like, in there. And I was like, is it a little bit cold, is it? And I had my feet just in it and I was like sat in the deck chair and he was just like, I will not be defeated by this. And he was visibly goosebumpy in there. But the next day it was beautiful because the sun had warmed up.
And that is bad. I imagine him with goggles.
He did have goggles.
A full vibe.
He did have goggles.
Someone went straight to the goggles.
If it was much deeper, he would have been doing handstands. It's very much a child's paddling pool. It's about 50 centimetres deep.
I keep thinking I want to get a hot tub for the sunny weather. Everyone keeps reminding me that it's a hot tub. And I'm like, but what if I just
you can do it without the heat and it's just bubbles and everyone says it's really good.
Yeah.
Like I've heard a lot.
Cold bubbles.
But it's not like bubble bath.
No, and then someone did just say to me, is it then, Olivia, like you're just sitting in a bath with 5 other people? Like when the bubbles are off.
No, that's right. In Love Island where they're like, hi boys, come and have a date with me. Like I think it was Molly May and then they were sat in the hot tub.
Oh,
you can't hear them if the bubbles are on, so they're just sat in a still hot tub like, so what do you do for a living? And they're like trying to chat each other up and it's just still and it's because you can't, because the mics, and it's so cringy. It's just really uncomfortable.
I do admire, I strive for the confidence of the Love Island bombshell when they walk in there like, hello everyone. And I'm like,
what's that?
Okay. I can't even go into a room with my friends if I did that. They'd be like, shut up.
I'm going to do it next time. Next time we get together, like the group, I'm going to be like, I'm going to late because I'm always late anyway. But normally you beat me to being late. I'm just like, hi boys.
Hi everyone.
But the thing is, because they watch Love Island, they'll know exactly what I'm doing anyway. They'll just be like, well, okay.
I didn't really, I watched the finale and then 5-6 episodes.
This is embarrassing. I'm watching you struggle. So Olivia's using my phone for the notes, and my date of birth is my date of birth is my password. Can she remember it? No.
I have the memory of.
Has she known me for a good few years? Also not. Has she been out with me on my birthday for my birthday? Pretty much.
So I wish you happy birthday every year. But
you
do you know my birthday? You probably do because you haven't
It's like 21st of January.
Oh no!
Yeah. It's January. It's like the 23rd.
It is in January.
25th. Yes, it's a month after Christmas. I knew that. Why did I say first?
A month after Christmas.
Because you and Dom have the same birthday.
Me and Dom, the only man.
And you and Quags have the same dad. They don't.
Yeah.
Long story.
Basically. Oh, Quags. He gets put up on every podcast. He's gonna.
It's because they're legends.
Oh, so today we are discussing sleep.
I'm actually quite excited because I haven't seen any of your notes.
So I don't know. There's so much to do with sleep that it's hard to try and sum it up. Like unlike with other topics we've done, like the ick.
You've said sleep and now I'm yawning. I'm not
you're going to yawn and now I'm going to go.
Fake.
Something I think the whole world needs more of, probably, is sleep. We live in this weird society where everyone feels like they have to be getting 2 hours of sleep and everyone has to be fully on all the time.
Grind.
Yeah, and like, is it toxic positivity perhaps, where everyone's like being pushed to do more? And all I know from my notes is that sleep is extremely important. Yeah, that wasn't even on my notes. That was just
because everyone's like, oh, I had 3 hours of sleep. Like even my mum, because I need to sleep loads. Like I'm called a sleeper. I like, in New Girl, and he's like, I like the sleepy ones. That's me. I am a sleepy one. I sleep minimum 8.5 hours a night. Usually between 9 to 10 hours a night. Like pretty much every night. Like I'll go to bed Frank works a bit earlier than me, so I'll go to bed when he goes to bed. So sometimes I'm asleep at 10:30 and I wake up at like 8. And that's just a lot of sleep, but I love it.
It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for me very often, I think. Because obviously, what I was very interested in, I don't know why I'd never known it before, is why we actually sleep. Do you know why we actually sleep?
I'm guessing it's for like your body to heal and your brain to like make all those neuron connections. Is that right?
It's literally an essential function that allows your body and mind to recharge, leaving you refreshed and alert when you wake up.
Genius. I knew that. I didn't really. I kind of did.
My only problem is when I wake up, I might actually feel worse.
It just depends, doesn't it? Because obviously it depends on like how you went to sleep. You know, when you're drunk and you could sleep for 8 hours when you're drunk, but it's like a fake sleep.
Yeah.
So you don't wake up like refreshed at all. Your brain's like, I don't know what you did for those hours you were lying down, but it wasn't sleeping.
It's like you played a part in a theatre show of someone that slept. So you wake up and you're like, was that me?
That's literally it. That's such a good description.
I had half a bottle of wine last night, and before you're about to thrift sift into sleep.
What?
You're about to drift
off.
That feels great because you're half a bottle of wine deep, and you're like, oh God, and you wake up and you're like, God, I've made so many mistakes in my life. And Mum was drinking half that bottle of wine and going to bed.
But yeah, when I was little, I used to sleep loads as well. And I mean, I'm not that old now, but yeah, I've always been one person to sleep. But as soon as you get to like teenager years, my mum used to be like, why do you need to sleep so much? You should be up at 7 a.m. I only need 4 hours of sleep. I only need... I'm like, I actually don't care how much sleep you need because it doesn't actually affect how much sleep I need. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm asleep, I'm in the house, you know where I am, I'm safe.
It's always a competition when it comes to sleep. If you say to someone, I'm tired, someone will say, well, let me tell you how I fought a crocodile in my sleep, went to France and back, and worked all day. So I don't know how you're tired.
While you were sleeping, I actually rescued an orphanage from a fire. So I actually didn't sleep.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And I'm actually even more refreshed, if anything, today. That's literally what it is, though.
It's one of the most competitive, for some reason, things. If you just say,
it's like drinking when you're 18. If you talk to like 18-year-olds about drinking, they're like, oh, I had this and that and this and that and this, and I'm like, I had half a bottle of wine and now it's fucked.
Yeah,
cheap night out.
Exactly. But some weird facts about sleep. So 12% of people dream entirely in black and white.
I've had a couple of black and white dreams.
I couldn't even tell you if I sleep. I don't even know.
But like my black and white dreams, I've had a couple like, you know, like film noir black and white dreams. But also like old school Mickey Mouse kind of dreams in black and white. I've had cartoon dreams. I'm probably the worst person to tell this because people are going to watch it and be like, you're weird. This is completely impossible. There are no studies on this, so how does that exist? No, genuinely, I have had some black and white dreams and like old style Mickey Mouse dreams.
So 75% of us dream in colour, but before colour television, only 15% of us did. So it's obviously what you're taking in.
Yeah, because your brain can't make up faces. So like anyone in your dream, this is like blew my mind, but it also makes sense.
Yes.
It has to be someone you've seen somewhere. So even if you have some random person who's like the gas station attendant in your dream, that person might have been someone you walked past or you stood behind in the queue in Tesco's.
Literally, I have a whole section on that somewhere in my notes.
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah, spoilers. I can't even find it, so
don't worry, we'll get to it when we get to it. No, we'll get to it.
I could have cut straight to it. So yeah, it's obviously you take in a lot of what you see. So I guess colour television. I hate cartoons. I don't know if you know this about me. My friends know this, and they can't. Like my friends in Essex know this, and they just despise me for it. They're like, "Oh, Olivia doesn't like cartoons."
Not like Family Guy.
I used to love Family Guy, but I just wouldn't watch it now. And Disney
like Rick and
films,
Morty.
Rick and Morty, I wouldn't put it on. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I wouldn't put it on. I can't really vibe. But I tell you, one I did, BoJack Horseman.
See, that's the one I never got into. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about it.
So obviously, light affects your sleeping habits. Our body clock is known as the circadian rhythm. Probably a very universally known fact.
I definitely pronounced that wrong. I'm pretty sure I used to say like cardigan.
I might be.
No. I think I said that wrong.
Circadian.
Because I didn't even say enough syllables.
Circadian. It responds to light cues, so it creates more melatonin at night and less when it senses light in the morning. With more exposure to light late at night and dark environments in the morning can throw off a person's rhythm, and then you get a messed up body clock. So you go to bed at 8 p.m, it's still light outside, you're going to wake up roused, confused.
It's like in the summer when it's light. I mean, we're in England, so it's not like Alaska.
Yeah.
But like, it can be quite hard. I find myself going to bed later in the summer.
Yes.
And like earlier in the winter because it's dark at like 4 p.m. Yeah. So you're like, whoa.
your body's like,
Yeah.
we could go now. We could go. Because when it was like the other day, after the heat wave at 10 p.m, my body was like, why?
Especially
like,
if you filled your day enough to be like physically tired.
Exactly. But that poses a question, can you sleep with a light on? Are you one of those people where the plug is flashing in the corner of the room and you're like, I can sense it?
Okay, let me tell you something.
Okay, I'm excited.
So, as you know, I was a competitive cheerleader.
Yes.
I had a nap at a cheerleading competition.
Okay.
A cheerleading competition is like an indoor rave. There are lights, there's smoke, there is thumping music, bass, dings, like it's like ding, bing, bing, because there's all sorts. It's literally like a rave. And I had a full-on like 2-hour nap at a cheerleading competition.
Oh my god.
So I wasn't competing that day, I was competing the next day and I was really tired. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap. And I laid, it's like in an arena. So I just laid on like 3 chairs down because our section was quite empty. Like obviously I was awake to watch our team perform, but you wait for like 4 hours for awards and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. I napped hard. It was a really good nap. There was a couple of us who took some naps actually. And yeah, I could sleep for anything.
I think it depends what mood I'm in. If I can, I mean, is that the weirdest place you've had a nap?
Probably. I used to nap a lot at college, like in French class. And like in like, you know, study hall and stuff. I'd just be like,
Mine was just first even a few uni lectures, just at the back door. I think the weirdest place, I'm one or the other. I'm one of those people, if the light, I can't sleep with the TV on.
Oh, I can.
I can't sleep with a light on. I can, but I'll wake up very confused.
Oh, I can, it's fine. My eyes are closed, that's dark enough for me.
But I've also had a nap at the British Museum in the absolute massive plaza where there's thousands of people walking through.
But it's also quite like, it's like white noise because it's like, like cafe noise, do you know what I mean?
And I just put my head, I was very hungover. I mean, that plays a part. Laid my head on a backpack and then slept in the middle of this plaza. And no one bothered me. I was just so hungover. I was so hungover. So that creates, I guess, an easier route to sleep in. Except when you wake up and you're like, my life is a mess. I'm in the middle of the British Museum.
Yeah, that's true. No, I've slept in weird. I'm always tired. I can always sleep.
Yeah.
Like if I'm still enough, I'm comfy enough.
Yeah, I could go at any point. I say this is just, like if I'm in a car, as you know, I was in your car.
Every time I drive, Olivia's in the car with me. If she's in the car with me, she will sleep like within 5 minutes. We'll be talking, and then you're like, "Oh, we like this song," and then it's like, "Oh, and Olivia's like." I'm like, okay, all right. Well, she is asleep now, and it's daylight. It's daylight. Sometimes
I can go. I'm just.
We went to a meeting. I drove all the way from Portsmouth to Essex, and you were asleep the entire time in the car. You were tired because you had worked like a night shift or something the night before.
Yeah, the two.
But
like, I think my body's still recovering from that life.
It's traumatic.
A long
mentally
time
and physically.
ago. So morning people are more likely to be successful in their careers. That makes. Yeah, that's the
humble brag.
The 5 a.m. club. Sonophobia is the fear of falling asleep.
Sonophobia.
Somniphobia. Somniphobia is the fear of falling asleep, which I had. Like, I don't know, can you get rid of phobias?
Yeah.
Perhaps something. But I used to be.
You not seeing the Speakmans on this morning? They're always getting rid of people's phobias.
I should have gone there instead of just braving it myself. So I used to
be terrified.
But I used to be terrified of falling asleep. I had this weird thing that I would literally lay there and be like,
Did you have weird dreams?
No, it's nothing. It was like when I was like 23, 24. I think something just went in my brain. Couldn't even tell you what it was. I just couldn't. I think I'd been on holiday in Bulgaria, not had enough sleep, drunk a lot of alcohol. I just went on a madness for 3 days straight. And then that was it. My body was like, no. And then couldn't sleep. Literally was scared. Would be like, oh, if I sleep, I'm not going to wake up.
How many days did you go without sleeping?
How many days did I then? I think I only had about an hour of sleep a night. So obviously your brain starts to crumble.
It's like, oh, let's soak it up while we can.
Yeah, crumble. But a real fear and terrifying as well. Terrifying. Every time you fall asleep, you think, I'm not going to get up. So your body keeps going.
Oh, no, don't now, because we've got to go to bed tonight.
No, you'll be fine. You don't think it. You have to. Something has to kick in.
I'll be asleep an hour after you leave.
That's true. I mean,
as soon as Saturday nap.
I'll be. As soon as I've got to pack, and then I'm going to a festival tomorrow. So I will also not be getting a lot of sleep. So I'll let you know if my somniphobia comes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I've not heard of that though, but it makes sense.
Yeah, but it is a fear of falling asleep. I used to just be terrified of it. And it's also impossible to sneeze while sleeping.
That's not true.
Apparently it's impossible.
I've definitely woken myself up by sneezing. 100%.
But do you think you're already... See, I'll come on to it. You might have already been awake.
Like in my low level of sleepiness.
You're probably already awake, but you thought the sneeze. Because you ever had that in a dream? You hear like a noise, and you're like, whoa, and then you wake up, and you're like, was that in real life or was that in the dream?
Is this real life?
Oh my god, that's my life. I wake up, I'm like, is this real life? I had a terrifying dream, because I suppose sleep dreams that merge into... I had a dream, I'm going to Australia for Christmas, and I keep dreaming about all the insects there. So I keep drinking and dreaming about massive spiders, and I mean, like, they're on the wall and they just fall on top of me. And then I had the most graphic one the other day of a wasp, like a hornet, going into my ear, and then my mum was trying to get it out and it had already gone too deep, and then I could feel it buzzing under my eye, but I could feel it in the dream.
That would make a really good horror film. No one steal that. We've got it on record.
Oh no, take it. Do we? I don't want to ever think about it again.
That sounds absolutely
And it
disgusting.
was horrific. But talking about you can sleep very quickly, how long does it take you to fall asleep averagely?
I'm not even joking. Probably about 1 to 1.5 minutes.
So it should take 10 to 15 minutes to sleep, but the average person falls asleep in 7 minutes. But if it takes you less than 5 minutes, you are sleep deprived.
But I sleep so much.
Something in your... It must be something. Maybe, I just don't know.
Like, genuinely, I can be, like, watching... You know when you're like... Okay, right. You know when you're playing one of those, like, mind-numbing games on your phone, and it's, like, there's ads, like, every time you complete a level, or every couple of times you complete a level.
So annoying.
I've fallen asleep in the 30-second ad.
My God.
So I've been like... And I'm like, okay, time to go to bed. In the 30-second ad.
But where are all your worries? Before I go to sleep, I worry about 7 to 8 things that I should have done during the day, got to do tomorrow, or just in life. I think about, God, what did I say to that person 4 years ago at 1 p.m?
So that's just going through my head all day anyway. So nighttime's just a little bit of relief from that. Because there's
finally.
There's like multiple thoughts going through it all the time, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I go to bed and I'm like... So me and Frank falls asleep kind of quickly, but I'm like ridiculous. So when me and my sister went to New York, I always do like a couple of like Sudokus or like crosswords before I go to bed. Easy ones, because I'm not actually that clever. And me and my sister are in separate beds but in the same hotel room.
Yeah.
And she knows I fall asleep quickly, and I snore and she hates it. So I'm like, I'm doing my last one. Go to sleep now. I'll give her a heads up.
Oh.
So she's got like a 5-10 minute heads up.
So she's got to get to sleep.
She just goes off her phone and like turns around, and then hopefully she'll be asleep.
The pressure.
But like once she didn't, and I was like, cool. And it was literally about 15 minutes later, and then I was like, cool, and I was like,
it's like a horror.
Literally instantly. And she was like, oh my God, I haven't even got to sleep yet. And I'm like, that's your fault, not mine. I gave you a heads up. You know, as soon as I say I'm going to sleep, I will be asleep within 3 minutes.
That's got to be a life skill.
I know.
That has got to be a life skill.
So sometimes, you know, when you have those nights where you struggle to go to sleep, for me, it probably feels like an hour, but it's most likely about 15 minutes. Because like that is actually how long it should take to go to sleep. So,
if you wake up in the night, if you wake up and you go to the toilet, do you immediately go back to sleep as soon as you... That's where I struggle. I can sleep like that, but if I'm awake for maybe half an hour.
Nope.
Or something in the night. But
I don't often go to the toilet in the night anyway, because I can hold it. But I would just be like...
And go on.
Yeah.
Like a little Mario Kart.
Literally there's no issue. I have 0 issues with going to sleep.
I tried to keep my eyes shut and like sleepwalk. So I'm like, brain, we're cool, we're chilled, we're just going to the toilet, we're not waking up. And suddenly you see a bit of light, and it's like, I'm like, cool. I'm like, no one tell the brain. I'm like, we're just walking. I'm like, sit down. I'm like, okay, we're good. I'm like, don't open your eyes, Olivia. And then something will be like, the intrusive thought will be like, just open. And then there'll be a bit of light in my brain. So, oh, we're up. Well, let's do things, baby.
Come on, guys. Let's get up here.
Yeah, and then the kidneys are up, and the liver's up, and then we're just moving. And then we're done.
The whole lymphatic system and central nervous system is like, hooray, let's get pumping.
Yeah, and then the nervous system kicks in. And I just thought, at 4 a.m, I'll just start worrying about the most stupid. I'm like, where's that t-shirt that I haven't seen in 5 years? All those things you see.
Because Frank has got this t-shirt, right? And it did exist because there's pictures of him wearing it at first year of uni, and we've never seen it since.
It's a conspiracy. That happens. Things disappear in life. I don't know what happens, but I've got clothes and I remember them and they're gone. I couldn't even tell you where they are.
I've had when you put something down.
Yeah.
And you put your phone down on here and you're like, I'm gonna go into another room, I'm gonna come back, and it'll still be there. And then you come back and it's gone, and you're like, but I put you there. Where have you gotten? And then you're like, do you know what? I'm not even gonna search. This is what I do. Maybe I'm just weird. I'm like, I'm not gonna search. And I'll say it out loud because they need to hear. And I'm like, I'm gonna come back in and it's gonna be there again. So I'm not gonna search. And when I come back and it's there and I might see. I don't know who it is, but
someone.
It sounds a bit fake, but do you know what I mean? You know when you're like, I definitely left that there, and they're like, it's on the side. How did you not see it? And you're like, it wasn't there when I looked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something weird. I call it the old universe. The universe.
It's the parallel universe. I borrowed it for a sec. Like, can I just borrow this dress for a sec? Actually, it's really good on me over here. But yeah, no, I'm a super sleeper. If that's a talent, I can sleep. My longest stretch was 16 hours.
My God.
It was a few years ago. I was probably 16. So 10, 11 years ago, I slept for 16 hours, didn't even wake up to go to the toilet. When I used to work night shifts when I was at Costa, so that was when I was 19, I did 2 days and 2 nights. How did I do that? I don't know. I'm good at sleeping. But I slept so hard after a night shift, I woke up and I was like 3 inches taller. I was so tall because my spine had decompressed, and my mum and my sister were like, you're tall. And I was like, she's a model. Look at her. And then 3 hours later, you shrink back down. I was so tall, you would have been scared.
I can't get over that I'm taller than you and thought we were the same height for a long time.
You're taller than me by a considerable
I know. It's so weird. I don't know why I didn't realise it until after we finished working. It's so weird. So, my next, I guess, big topic is lucid dreaming.
Oh, I have these lucid dreams. Is that Juice WRLD? He's not.
Yeah, I think it was Juice
R.I.P.
Such a good song. But they believe that you should be able to affect the result of your dream or manage your level of engagement in the imagined world. So they may be good, bad, terrifying, and notoriously difficult to research. Obviously, dreaming is. Mm-hmm. Freud tried, man. I'll give it to Freud. The man tried.
The man's a trier.
The man tried. But I guess, there were other things for him to be concerned about. However, lucid dreaming is real, and the science behind it is interestingly studied. You can trigger it. There's lots of tips to do it online, and I hear about my friends in Essex talk about it, and they do it and they enjoy it, and I'm like, I just don't want to mess with that stuff. I just want to sleep. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to know what's going up in there. I just want the brain to figure itself out, and I don't want to mess with it.
So have you ever lucid dreamed?
No, I don't think ever. I've had it. I've had the opposite, which is horrific. Well, not the opposite.
What is the opposite? Someone else controlling your
dreams?
Where
the dream is controlling you, e.g. sleep paralysis, I would
okay.
say. So sleep's controlling you.
No, I'm not convinced I've lucid dreamed. I saw this thing ages ago where if you say to yourself, tonight, when I dream, I'm going to be in control of my dream. If you say that before you go to sleep, it's supposed to up your chances of lucid dreaming, but I don't know if that's legit or not. Oh. But I've had dreams where I'm conscious that it's a dream and I can know what to do in that situation in the dream, if that makes sense. That was really abstract, wasn't it?
I get it. Mine is just feature-length films.
Oh yeah, in my dream, not last night, the night before, there was a guy with a machete and he cut this woman's head off, and then he was running after me, and I got in my car and I pulled my seats back so I hid in the boots so you couldn't see I was in the car. Literally, that was my dream 2 nights ago, and I was like, okay. But I've had dreams where, for example, there was talking about your dreams is always really boring because it's you're trying to relive it and then everyone's like, yeah. But
always, I have a horrible habit of telling everyone my dreams.
I know, and it's you don't want to hear anyone else's dreams, but you want to tell everyone your dreams. You know what I mean?
You experienced it. It's your life. It's your life for 8 hours.
I had one ages ago, which I feel like this might be a scene from Inception, but I haven't seen that one for years, where people were chasing me and they were trying to kill me, and I was running for ages. I'm not a good runner, so I'm not a good runner in the dreams.
I'm not the jelly legs, and
no, I'm just not good at cardio, so I'm just you know that meme where she's that's just me all the time. And I was like, do you know what? I'm in a dream. So if I die in the dream, I just wake up in real life. So they grabbed me and they like stabbed me really slowly in my chest, and I just went in my bed. And I was like, okay, cool.
We're back. That's so.
That's like the closest I think I've got to lucid dreaming. But not like people will be like, I can fly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they choose the outcome of it. I just want to see let life do its thing. I often dream that someone is chasing me or trying to kill me, or weirdly enough, I dream that I've killed someone and I'm trying to cover it up and I just don't want to get caught. Yeah. And so, but I don't like, and then I'm not guilty about it. I just feel bad. So there must be something inside. I don't care that I've killed him. I care that I'm about to get caught.
It depends on who's body.
It could be anyone's. It's been random people. It's been friends I've known. It's been just bloody.
Also, we do not condone killing.
Yeah,
that was a joke. That's incredible. I don't think I've had a dream where I've killed someone.
I've not experienced the killing. I've not done the killing.
You've just got the body and you're like,
yeah. I just know that the body's out there somewhere and I'm gonna get caught. Isn't that weird? It's so weird. The weirdest one I had recently, and I told like my friends who were in it about it, and they were just like, so Vecna from Stranger Things, and I'm not talking sexy blonde.
The same Jamie Campbell something.
Oh my god,
that might be a lie, but yeah, not the blonde guy. The
veiny, the monster, the veiny,
sinewy guy.
Can I say scrotum looking?
Yes,
scrotum looking beast. I had a dream that he was sucking my friends. I thought, oh my god,
he was what?
He was sucking my friends. I should finish that sentence.
Yeah, you should.
Sucking my friends through like a portal and like killing them. So he's taking them off one by one. And so there's like two walls. I remember it vividly.
I'm sorry, I'm just sucking my friends.
Sucking my friends. I mean,
this is egg toes. This is egg dick. Like, what's coming next?
The theme is correct for one month. And then, yeah, so he's killing all my friends off. I fall in love with him, obviously, naturally.
Naturally, you do like a bad boy.
But not a bloody Vecna. and yeah, so I made kind of a deal with him. I would help sacrifice my friends. And I did.
He's going to sacrifice himself.
I fully sacrificed my friends for him because I loved Vecna. And I think I was attracted
was he sucking
to him.
afterwards then?
I mean, I didn't get to that. I woke up and I was fuming. I was like, no, I'll never know what it felt like.
Sexy Vecna.
If I could lucid dream, I would Vecna. I basically keep seeing videos like, that ass, and it's just Vecna. And I'm like, oh, hello.
No, it's so gross. Like, what would the texture even be like?
Oh, I saw
like,
a
is
video.
he damp? He looks damp. Like,
the man is moist. But I always see as well. There's like a video that said, oh, everything, your tongue knows what everything feels like. So if you look at something, your tongue will be like, smooth. And I was thinking, as soon as I saw that, I immediately thought of Vecna, and I thought, oh, he's a sponge. He's going to feel like a sponge. A sponge that's been in the sink too.
That's
just lick his arm.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
No licking Vecna. For the love of Christ.
Oh my god, I forgot my next, but I've completely been distracted
by lucid dreaming. That's what
lucid dreaming.
Would you want to try it, or you think don't?
No, I think because I've got had my fear of sleep. I've had such trouble with sleep. Yeah, I just think I'd just let it do what it's got to do.
Thing, yeah.
But men have dreams, interestingly, about other men 70% of the time, but women dream about men and women equally. So men, you'd think that men, you know.
I know it's Frank, but he never remembers his dreams. I'm like, what did you dream last night? He's like, I don't know, nothing. Although the other day he was like, your boobs were in my dream. I was like, just my boobs? Was my body in your dream? And he was like, I mean, yeah, the rest of you was there as well. Your boobs were in my dream.
And then there's just a man in the corner like
they just attach you to a man's body.
Oh my. So I have something interesting maybe to ask you. You Frank get married.
Are we?
No, you maybe you get married, but you get married.
This is I don't know.
Hypothetical situation.
You're like,
you get married. I'm married.
I'm told everyone. Did you not know yet?
But you get married. Would you ever consider having different rooms or sleeping separately, or?
So our rule is, I'm really big and it's not like it's exciting. It's not. So we only have one bed at the moment, so there's not a lot of room for leeway. When it got really hot, we were like, someone's going to have to sleep downstairs.
Yeah.
On the floor. We don't even have a settee yet. But we're going to have in the spare room, we're going to have another bed. And it's like, if you're ill, separate rooms because, you know, it's easier to sleep. You don't want to both be ill. Do you know what I mean? And then like, so we do like sleeping together because we do a bit of cringe. We have to cuddle and sleep and all that sort of stuff. But also, you know, when you're like, I just want to chill and sleep, and like, if someone's coming back really late, you don't want to wake the other person up, sleep in the other bed, sort of thing. So we're not like against. It's not like you must sleep in this bed with me all the time. Like if you're ill, if you're tired, if you're not feeling it or whatever, separate bed if you want. But we don't actually have a separate bed at the moment. We've got a blow bed on the floor. So yeah. But I'm not against it because people do. They do like they're like, no, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as people.
Yeah, because 1 in 8 couples that are married sleep separately, and I just wonder, is that the answer to a good marriage? I don't know.
We sleep very well together.
Yeah,
and that's just happened to be. I mean, we were sharing a single bed at Frank's house, which we were sharing a single bed until Frank's brother moved. So I think he moved in like May. So when I stayed around his house, we were in a single bed. This has been years. This has been a long time.
My God.
And I had a single bed at my house until 2017.
I remember those days. Yeah. So do you need music or sounds to sleep?
No. If I cannot fall asleep listening to music because... Okay, right. So when Frank got Spotify Premium, I was like, ooh, I love musicals. I like music. So I listen to all sorts of music.
Yeah.
I was listening to Disney songs. It's going to be in my head again now because I'm saying it. But I had the song from Mulan in my head for months.
Can you give me the
hang on. I will bring honor to your soul.
Oh, no.
That song, I was going to bed for months. And I wasn't listening to it. So I can't listen to music before I go to bed because it's just ringing in my ears, playing around over and over and over again, and I can't go to sleep. I mean, it probably means it takes from 3 minutes to probably about 5 minutes for me to go to sleep, but it feels like years.
So I have to now. I've got into a habit. I think I've just built a weird habit. I have to have a sleep hypnosis track on, or like nighttime affirmations. So I have YouTube on the side and I try and put my phone down, which is apparently very bad, you know, having the phone in the room. Good sleep health. And I have to listen to that now. And if I get a worse night's sleep if I don't listen to it. I don't know if I've just programmed my brain. It never used to be like that. But I've got friends that have to listen to just white fans. So like I was gonna say loads of people listen to either they have a fan on or they have a fan sound app, which is weird. But so, my friend, we went to like a wedding together. We slept in the bed next to each other, and she's got earphones in, just like laying like this. And I wake up and the YouTube video is just a white fan swirling around, and that's just on her like this, and she's just like, and she can't sleep without it. And I just think the worst thing, if there's a fan on, I can't sleep if there's a fan. Like,
I don't mind. So in Frank's house, his parents' house, they have like the Dyson fan, like the little circular one, and that's quite nice because it's not like it's just like, so it's not too bad. But to be honest, I can sleep in anything. I think that's the key. If I have children, I'm gonna, you know, when you're not silent around them. Yeah. I don't think anything was ever silent around me as a child, so I can sleep in different noises. I can sleep in silence. It's fine. Yeah. So I used to have the TV on, but I think it's just as life grows because I had to have a light on. Like for a long year, like 4 or 5 years of my life, I had to have the light on. I was too scared to sleep. But when I was younger, then it became I had to have the TV on. Now nothing. Like even if the phone light is. Yeah, I used to always sleep with my bedroom door open, and then when I got to uni, obviously you're in halls, you have to fucking lock that shit. Yeah. You gotta lock that. So I had to like adjust to sleeping with the door shut, and then I got back home, and then I was like, do I want it open? Do I want it shut? And now here, we sleep with the door open because it's only us in the house. Yeah. But then when other people stayed around, we like shut the door in case like they, you know, cause it's next to the bathroom or I mean, they're just gonna see me and Frank like, they'll hear what room we're in because we both snore disgustingly. But I was like, oh, this is weird. And then when Frank was gone because he was house sitting, I was like, oh, it's just me in the house. And then I was like, should I sleep with the door shut? I think I slept with the door shut. So I was like, if anyone comes in the house, well, I'll hear them open the door. So I wake up like instantly. I fall asleep instantly and I wake up instantly. So yeah. So a light sleeper. Well, it's you, Frank, and the person that keeps moving all your stuff. and the stranger who lives in the loft. And the stranger who moves all your stuff around. But when the dog's here, the dog will get them. Yeah, she'll wake us up. Exactly. My cats don't do shit. They just stare at me. Meow. A quiet meow. So I guess
my thing with sleep is why I wanted, I guess, to discuss the topic. Is I have a big ailment.
Mhm.
My accent comes from true. Is I get sleep paralysis.
I do too.
Yeah,
When do you get it a lot?
more often than I would like. I got it about 3-4 days ago, and then I normally get it if I'm really hot, overheating, or something. But it happens when you obviously can't move your muscles as you're waking or falling asleep, and it's because you're in a sleep mode, but your brain is active, which makes a lot of sense for maybe our brains if we're constantly thinking.
Yeah.
That doesn't obviously change when you're asleep.
Because there's different cycles of sleep, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's REM and non-REM, but interestingly, people think you can't sleep in non-REM. You can't dream in non-REM, but you do. You dream in both, but the dreams in REM are just more crazy and more intense. Like
so the dreams of you just having lunch, having a really nice dinner. Have you ever had a dream where you're like eating some banging food?
Yeah,
right? And then you wake
always.
up and you're like starving and you're like, there's no way for me to make this meal that I've just dreamed of, and it was so good in my dream. Oh,
I once manifested a square pizza that I dreamt about. I went in Asda and it was there, and I was like, oh, and it was the best thing I'd ever eaten ever. Still to this day, that square pizza, never seen it in there since. Probably because square pizza's not really a vibe, but it was the best, and I was addicted to eating them. Addicted. And obviously, because it's sleep and it's dreams, it's not clear why sleep paralysis can happen, but it's been linked with insomnia, disrupted sleeping patterns, jet lag. I'm not looking forward to that because obviously Australia, I'm susceptible.
Oh, right, yeah.
Narcolepsy, PTSD, general anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and family history of sleep paralysis.
See, I genuinely, when I was a teenager, I thought I was like narcoleptic for a while, and I'm not like a hypochondriac because I'm a sleepy person. But I would just fall asleep all the time. I fell asleep on the toilet, like not even like doing a long poo. I'm like doing a wee, fall asleep. I used to fall asleep in the bath and wake up like because it's freezing. I used to fall asleep constantly everywhere.
It's almost like narcolepsy then.
Well, that's what I mean. I thought I had that, but then you have this thing called cataplexy when you have narcolepsy, which is where like your muscles like freeze or something. Like,
oh yeah, there's a girl in my college had it. She just
yeah, and I don't have that. It's like you could laugh or you could like it's extreme emotions and then your body like freezes, and I didn't have that, so I was like, okay, I'm just
a sleepy person.
I'm just a sleepy girl.
Maybe
But my sleep paralysis is a bit different because I'm just cool and kooky, and basically. I don't see like the demon. Do you see like the demon?
No, I see no witch. I see no demon. I
see nary a witch, nary a demon.
no demons here.
What's yours?
Mine is I'm asleep. So the last time I had it, not this time.
I bet yours is like mine. I'm saying it now. I've not even heard.
Mine is like I'm trying to lift a finger and I'm like I can't move it, so I'm like, but I'm awake and I'm like I just need to wake up. I want to wake up. I need to wake up. I'm like. Arms going like this, and then it's like everything's like dead, and I can't move, like literally paralyzed.
That's what mine is like.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to move a thumb, and then suddenly it start moving. I'm like, oh, we're back, and then my arm will move, and then I'm awake, and then I'm back.
Okay,
so
mine's
weird.
a bit longer than that. So I'll be like asleep and say in this house. It's not happened in this house. And I normally can feel when I'm going to have it because my head gets a bit buzzy before I go to sleep because I'm like overtired and stressed in some specific combination of moods.
Yeah, I think it is.
And I'm like, this might be a sleep paralysis thing. It's usually when I nap. It's more than when I nap than when I actually go to bed sleep.
Yeah.
But say Frank's downstairs and he's like cooking. And so this happened at uni. I was at uni and my housemate Becky was downstairs, and because we were having sweet potatoes with bacon and cheese stuffed, it was going to be banging.
Vibe. And
I was having a wee nap while the sweet potatoes were in the oven because they take like an hour, and I could smell the bacon and I could hear her cooking.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to get up. And I'm like, in my dream, my arm's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, come on, let's get up. And it's like. And then you think it's moved, and I'm like, yay! And then I look back and it's back here again, and I'm like, no! And I'm like trying so hard. And I've had it where I'm like on my front, so my face is like in my pillow, and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like screaming, and I'm like, ooh, because I can't breathe, because I can't. Oh, it's terrible. That's what my sleep paralysis is. And it's like, I'm always trying to get up because I can hear someone being like, oh, Shell, come, let's go. And I'm like,
But then I wonder if they're
But what do they
saying
see
that
when they
you're
see
dreaming?
the body?
Oh.
Because I feel like I can see my arm moving, but my eyes, are they even open or are they closed?
So I feel like that's the thing. So my friend, no, I've not really been with anyone when I've had it. It happened, funny enough, at Ziggit Festival on the Lido. It's the first time it ever happened. A Lido? Is that what those things are? The things that you float in?
Lilo.
Lido.
You can have a Lilo in a Lido.
Lilo in a Lido.
Lido is an outdoor swimming pool.
Yeah, I was like, there's a connection, but I'm not there. Something's not right. But my friends, they're married, and he knows when she's experiencing it, and he'll wake her up. But I've never had that in my life. Like,
because that was in Haunting of Hill House, wasn't it? The husband had sleep paralysis, but then he got like killed or something. Oh, that was horrible. I can't remember it, but there was something scary happened.
Something scary. It was very absolute somniphobia.
But yeah, that's what mine is. In my brain, I can see my arm trying to move. But then when I wake up, I'm like this. So I'm like, did I see my arm?
Yeah. And then I wonder, is that sleep paralysis because I'm not seeing... But I think it's just a different form. Like, it's a terrifying...
Yeah.
You can't move. I had it in a bouncy castle. And I was trying to move, and not in the dream was the bouncy castle. I was just
like, you were just out here taking a nap like a little cat on a bouncy castle.
Yeah. I was just somewhere like
the kids are like jumping around you, and you're just there like in the middle of having a nice little nap.
I could do it, Erica. I could do it.
I definitely could.
You definitely could.
And my friends, you guys trying to like double bounce me, and I'm like,
gone. I had a tent, like a camping trip. On a trampoline. A camping trip.
Well,
I say that it was in a garden, and it was with my friends, and we were like 12, and it was on a trampoline. I slept quite well then, but I feel like it is horrific, and the bouncy castle was just like going over me, and I couldn't move.
It's like claustrophobia as well.
Claustrophobia. I feel like I've got big claustrophobia. Like when I see people caving.
Frank, like, show me these videos. I'm like, let me just see if I can fit. And the hole's like this big. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
No, not for me. Not for me. But not for me. I just can't even go into it. I'm like, if I think about it, I'm not sleeping.
No, me either. Absolutely not.
Probably the thing though that we never want is exploding head syndrome. Have you heard of exploding? It sounds worse than it is.
You seen The Boys, the TV show?
Yeah, I love
Head
The
popper.
Boys. Yeah, I imagine it to be like that.
Yeah, me too. Like it's like, hey, Olivia.
Yeah.
Hey.
I love The Boys. I'm a big
So
fan. A big fan.
Have you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it all.
So
just waiting for the next.
We shall discuss afterwards.
Yeah,
Frank loves it too.
Because I like Frenchie is my favourite character.
That's what I think of him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I like the guy with the really big dick. It's funny.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like 10 feet long, his dick.
No one needs that much dick. No one.
It's like so big, and it's like when it was around his neck. It's so
I got goosebumps.
Oh, it's so gross.
Oh my god.
Because he's like, oh, what is it? He's like, oh, it's a dick. Anyway,
yeah. It's so...
Exploding head syndrome.
So it's just as you're moving into deep sleep and loud noise wakes you, probably terrifies you. So sounds are reported like cymbals banging or even a gunshot or explosion.
Oh, so your head doesn't explode, but it sounds like, I've had this,
sounds like it's going to go. So they're not sounds that are going to soothe you to sleep. So it seems that it's coming right next to you. So it's just noise. There's no pain, not associated with disease, and you'll just forget about it.
I've had this happen to me. I don't think I've had a syndrome, but I've had like, I'm like, and you hear like, BAM!
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And then you turn around, you're like, and it's totally silent. You're like, nothing. And you wait for like another bang, and there's nothing. And you're like, you know, when they're like, I'm going to go back to sleep suspicious. Yeah, I've had that before. No.
Imagine you're just, like, that's your syndrome. Every time you go to sleep, you're just...
Yeah, no, I've had it like once, so that might have actually been a bang. But I don't have it recurring. I've had it happen at least once. I remember it once. But that could have just been, there was genuinely just a loud bang outside.
That is got to be one of the worst. At least it's not actually exploding head syndrome, which is obviously you can
the
die.
name, they could tone it down a little bit.
Because I like this
really extreme.
That is definitely something I would name.
Even headbang syndrome is better than exploding head syndrome.
Yeah, but then you'd think that someone's like rocking out in their sleep. It sounds like something I would name. I'd be like, oh, exploding head syndrome. Immediately. My dramatic goodness could not.
So, like, have you ever, like, acted anything out in your sleep before? Because, you know, like, if you're, like, in between... I don't know, you've got the research on sleep, but, like, they say if you're, like... One of them you're dreaming, one of them you're not dreaming as much, but you can dream in them. Yeah. But, like, if your body's not paralysed yet, which is why you get sleep paralysis, because your brain's still dreaming and your brain's awake, but your body's paralysed because it thinks you're dreaming. But, like, I've acted stuff out in my dream. Like, me and Frank have both accidentally hit each other in our sleep.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like that happens
bam.
a lot.
And you know when you like go to kick a ball and you kick and like you kick something where you headbutt something. I've done that. But you know who we used to work with?
Oh yeah.
She had night terrors.
Oh man.
So she used to think like someone was coming in and like killing her family and like she'd like be fighting stuff, like literally fighting for her life.
See, that's when lucid dreaming would be useful, wouldn't it?
No, because you'd actually think there was a real, I don't know, maybe actually.
Because then you control the outcome, because you know you're
Laser
dreaming.
eyes!
Because lucid dreaming, the thing is, you know you're dreaming.
That's true.
So then you would be like, okay, this is a dream. But you think, I'm having it again and again. At some point, you must think, I've got to realise it's just a dream. Your brain's like, your brain just wants to destroy you. I stand by it. The brain wants
or
what
is
the
it
brain
a lie?
wants.
We'll never know.
Apparently, it is a myth as well to wake sleep. Like, it's
not to wake sleep.
Yeah, apparently that's a myth.
Oh my god, I haven't told you my scary sleepwalking story.
Oh no,
it's not me. It's Tess, my sister. So when she was little, she used to sleepwalk, but we didn't realise this for ages. So our house is like an old Victorian house. So the toilet was downstairs and our bedrooms were upstairs. Very inconvenient. When you need the toilet, you have to go really far. Hence why I've trained myself to not go to the toilet in the night. Because you've been to my house. It's far, isn't it, to get to that toilet?
It's very far. Very far.
It's not even a big house. It's just the opposite end of everything.
It just feels like a journey.
It just feels like forever.
I'm on a pilgrimage.
Literally. And my mum used to be like, who's leaving the lights on in the night? Like, when you've gone to the toilet at night, who the hell is leaving the lights on? And we'd be like, well, we've not gone to the toilet. That's so weird. My sister used to wake up with the loo roll in her bed and be like, why is there the loo roll in my bed? From the bathroom. She doesn't even remember getting out of her bed or anything. And then I was having a sleepover for like, I don't know, my 13th or my 14th birthday, and we were in the living room, which is downstairs as well. And we're just chatting and the door was open. And then my sister was just stood in the doorway, but like we didn't hear her coming. And we were like, hey, come, you want to come and like join us and like chat with us? And she just didn't move. No. She didn't blink. She didn't do anything. She just stood there and stared. And we were like, all right, whatever. We just carried on and then we turned around and she was just gone.
No, that's horrible. That's
the one. Second one, I woke up in the night once.
I'd be gone.
Hallway light was on and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I could hear movement and I was like, what's going on?
No.
I'm not done. No. My sister, I shit you not. So I was probably about the same age. Like I was like 14. So she was like 11, I was like, I don't know, 13, 14. She's 3 years younger than me, so she's like 10, 11 maybe. She was skipping around the hallway, up and down the hallway, giggling. No. And the light was on. So she's like, like skipping. And I was like, fuck this. I just put my cover over my head and went back to sleep.
No, I'd kill her. I'd kill her. Honestly, she'd be dead. If that was my sister, mad respect. Mad respect to.
I was like, I don't get paid enough for this.
There'd be a frying pan and a body.
You used to go past there to get the frying pan. The kitchen's bloody downstairs.
No,
I was like,
that is what horror.
I think I like shut my door slightly because obviously I slept with my door open. I like shut the door a bit.
Oh, goosebumps again.
Terrifying. If you have any weird sleepwalking stories, let us know.
Yeah, I promise I won't react to me just trying to kill you.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, would you kill my sister or would you let her live? What would you let me know?
It's like a Goosebumps book. It's like turn to page 84.
Email us at maycontaincchaos@gmail.com.
So I guess, yeah, to finish off, it's just some good sleep health that might be helpful to anyone struggling. You are not, probably, you are the epitome of...
Well, I suppose if I'm sleeping, there's a little bug on the table.
I know, I saw him. He'll come back.
He's gone. Well, I suppose I go like the other way, like I sleep too much maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So it must be something. So sticking to a good sleep schedule. So set aside no more than 8 hours for sleep, funnily enough. That might be the reason. Your body's trying to...
I think that is with Frank, because Frank was like, I keep being really tired. I'm like, I feel like you're sleeping too much.
Yeah, I think
last night we went to bed at midnight and he got up at 8 and he was like, I had a really good sleep last night. And we were like tipsy because we went round the neighbour's house.
Yeah, you can go the other way. If you sleep too much, your body starts getting used to being lethargic. Paying attention to what you eat and drink. Don't go to bed hungry or stuffed. But then it's also a double-edged sword because then you can't eat apparently too close to bed.
Yeah,
so you get the energy.
Digestion. A few weeks, because I hate coffee, you know this.
Yeah.
I worked in Costa for 5 years. I worked in Starbucks for 2 years, and I detest coffee. But I was constipated, and I was like, "Bruh, it's been like 5 days. Something's got to happen soon." So I had a Costa, had a little iced caramel latte. It was a free drink because I had some fruity fraps, and I'd racked up the points. And I was like, I'll have this, and I had it at like 3 p.m. And I don't drink caffeine that much. Like I have a tea, never a coffee. Oh my god, I couldn't sleep till like 2:30, and I was like, but I did poo, so you know.
Yeah, you can't. I recently gave up caffeine. I mean,
again for the how much? How many times?
I can't give it up.
You forget I know.
So I gave it up again. So I go on and off.
Do you drink Coca-Cola?
I stopped that as well. But this is I did it probably about a year. Nothing.
Did you do green tea?
that I've come back to it. I've had a few coffees here and there, green teas, coffee, so I'm kind of getting it back in.
But like you were doing coffee hard. Remember at the
I was
office,
hard.
and it was that coffee machine. I was
God.
Give me it.
I was in hard. And I used to drink, when I was at college, I used to drink like 5-6 energy drinks a day.
Oh.
But not to quote, but an ick now for me is anyone over the age of like 25 drinking energy drinks.
That is contra fucking verse.
But like regularly.
We're gonna get cancelled for that.
We'll cut that out.
Because people have like Red Bulls and Monsters for breakfast.
I just think that's
like
violent.
Jaeger bombs?
Yeah, I avoid Jaeger bombs. I've got now, if my friends buy shots, I'm like, you have to get me a tequila. We've got an unspoken.
That tequila that we had at that work Christmas party. Where was it? Wildwood?
Oh yeah.
Best tequila I've ever had in my entire life.
That was
But I like shot it and I was like, oh, I wish I'd sipped that because it was so good. But I'm also never been more happy that I didn't go to a party in my entire life. Because it was we had to work. It was on a Thursday.
Wow, yeah.
Work Christmas party was on a Thursday, but we had to work on a Friday. Right, full day as well. Full day, not half day or anything. Like, and they were giving us like prosecco to pre-drink beforehand. So very irresponsible, I think. And Dom, Quags, and Olivia were like, we're going to go out afterwards. And I was like, yeah, no. Me and Chloe, we went home. I was like, I'm going to go home after this, I think, because I've got to work the next day. And I'm so glad because what time did you get back from that party?
I got back at 10 a.m. the following day.
What time did we start work, Olivia?
We start work at 9
a.m.
Yeah. So I just had... Did we even have work phones then? Was that even I think I just had my phone next to... Oh, we had Teams on. So I just had it next to me. And I was like...
You need to locate yourself from wherever the after party was that you and Quags were to your houses to work.
Quags made it in before me. I think he'd left like an hour before, but I was like, if I leave now, I will immediately pass away.
Dom, he was the sensible one. He left at like 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, he left early, but me and Craig were still drinking vodka till like 7. No, maybe that's dramatic. 5 a.m.
And the irony is, the party you were at was with none of the other people we work with. It was a separate party.
A separate party. I found myself in them, but I'm not that crazy.
That's not a bad thing. But if we'd had that Friday off, I would have been there with you. I would have. But I was like, I can't risk it. I wasn't golden child. I feel like you might have been golden child then.
I was for a bit. I was golden. Everyone gets their era.
Golden child at the place we worked was when you were the one staff member who could do no wrong.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise this was a thing because I was golden child for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. They were like, oh, it's because you're not golden child anymore. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then you guys are like, ah. And I was like, I've been golden child all this time and no one told me.
It's like a manipulative technique, I feel, though. I feel like it's almost like you're doing really well at your job. Like, yeah, let's keep going. And you have one slip up or someone else that did that. And they're like, well, you had your shot. Goodbye.
They literally get like the guillotine out and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to execute you because you've completely ruined everything now because you did one tiny spelling mistake or something.
I'm pretty sure it messed me. I mean, along with other things, I'm pretty sure that put me in a path of I have to do everything to perfection at all times.
But I think you might have been golden child at that point.
I probably, and then Craig's had it for a long time.
And then Dom had it for a while as well.
And then we left.
I did have a good reign of a golden child, but I didn't know I was the fucking golden child.
Yeah, it was that quote that's like, if only we knew we were in the good
days.
And
good old days.
If only I could have taken... Well, I did take advantage of mine, apparently, for that one night.
You did.
So yeah, you got to pay attention to what you eat and drink. Don't be drinking vodka at 5 a.m. or you ain't making it to work at 9 a.m.
Respectable.
Create a restful environment to keep your room cool, dark, quiet, limit daytime naps, include physical activity, and then the hardest one, I think, is managing worries. That's probably
when I was really stressed, that was hard. Like my head was like buzzing constantly, and I buzzed constantly during the day, but it didn't stop in the evening when I got sleepy, and like I would go to bed at like, you know me, I'm a sleeper, as I've said like 100 times in this pod. I go to bed at like midnight at the very, 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 very latest. Usually if you text me after 11, you ain't getting a reply till after 9 the next day because I'm asleep. I wouldn't go to bed till like 2 a.m. and I'd wake up at like 6 a.m. to do, and I was like, that's not me at all because I was just so stressed and I was like not eating and I was like, no, you can take away my food but you can't take away my sleep.
Exactly. I think so I meditate normally when I wake up and when I go to sleep. If I have time, I go to the gym almost every day, which I mean can have a diverse effects on your body, but normally knocks me out pretty early. And I don't try to look at the time before I go to bed as well. That's my top tip. Don't look at the time.
I said to Frank, like, you know when you wake up in the night and you're like, oh, I need a toilet or whatever.
Yeah.
I never look at the time.
Don't look.
I don't look.
Try
Frank's
not
always
to
like, oh, what time is it? I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Because it ruins it though.
Yeah.
Because you don't know whether it's like you've been asleep an hour or you've been asleep 7 hours and you're going to wake up in half an hour.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Just go back to sleep and see what happens.
It's placebo effect. I think if you're like, oh my God, like tomorrow when I get my flight, I've got to get up at 3 a.m. I've got to leave at 3 a.m.
Yeah, you can't be getting up at 3 a.m. You
Yeah.
see your flights are like 5 and you've got to get from Essex to Heathrow.
So my flight's at
What
7.
are you doing?
My flight's at 7
Okay,
a.m.
thank God for
So I've
that.
got to be at the airport for 5, so
Okay.
I'll probably have to leave at 3.
Okay.
But
I was like, you're not getting from Essex to Heathrow in an hour. What are you talking about?
so ideally, I would want to be in bed to get 3. I'd have to be in bed probably now.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah,
probably have
sure.
to be in bed pretty early. But I think if I just don't look, I think if you know you're getting 5 hours sleep, like I know I'm getting 3 hours sleep, I'm gonna wake up feeling shit no matter
No,
what.
but you also buzz because of the holiday. How long's the flight?
4 hours. I can sleep
So you
on
can
it.
sleep on the
Yeah,
plane,
and
yeah.
I'll sleep at the airport if I get a chance as well because I can just
Yeah.
go out.
But also you can sleep in, right, so you stagger it. So you get up, you get your stuff ready, you're in the cab. The cab's going to be an hour.
Oh,
I'll
the
have a sleep in the
cab.
cab.
I forgot
about the cab. Bonus hour.
We forgot about the cabs. Oh my God. Yeah, I will be
See,
gone in that cab.
I do that all the
forgot.
time, even from like Frank's house to Stansted, which I shit you know is about 25-minute journey. I used to be like Frank's parents' house. I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Frank's like, we're literally going to be there. We're like, I'm just going to go.
That's so
And I'll
beautiful.
just go there and I'll sleep. And then you know when it's pulling up and you see the bright lights of the airport, and
Yeah.
you're like, and you go to Spoons and you get Spoons breakfast
Yeah.
with the little tiny knives.
My
It's
friend
like
is
£13 because it's at the airport.
yeah, everything's about 4 times the price. It's like a bottle of water you have to take out a mortgage for. You're like, huh, how much?
No,
So
you take your plastic bottle,
Yeah.
pour it out, go through security, then fill it up the other end.
Always now. I
Yeah.
always take my refillable bottle.
So I haven't, because I get scared that they're going to be like, you can't have it.
Oh, never. They've never
I've
said
never
anything.
had that, no, but I'm scared.
You just chuck it.
Yeah. But that was a good on sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of research. Most of it I feel like people already know. But some of it, like that exploding head syndrome, and it's just annoying that you can't find out more, obviously, about dreams. Like, I always Google my dream.
We should do an episode on dreams.
Yeah, maybe that
and,
needs to be a
dream
whole separate thing.
interpretations.
Yeah, and
That
you
has
should
some
tell me a
fucked up
dream,
dreams.
and I will interpret it, and we'll see if that is the diagnose it on.
Yeah. And we'll do it in like a few months' time, like a
Yeah.
few weeks' time, a few episodes' time. So we get people to send it. If you want your dream interpreted, send
Yes.
us an email. May contain chaos@gmail.com and just like make the subject dream,
That is
and then
so
we'll like
good.
try and interpret them.
And we'll get our friends as well to try and send
Yeah.
in some of their dreams, and we'll interpret.
Don't bullshit us. Like, if you say like, oh, and it's crazy. Like, we want real dreams.
I
Oh
want
my
real.
God, did you hear that? Oh my God.
I want real Vecna in love. Like, if you can
Yeah.
out weird her.
Yeah, you can't. That's really fucked me up. That's so weird.
Like, even Gene Hunt from Life on Mars, you might not even know that man. He's been in my dreams a few
that
times.
code's powerful though.
It's such a powerful code.
Such a powerful code.
It's just that I love authority.
But yeah, no, that was good. Thank you for telling us all about sleep.
Yeah, sometimes I forget also that we're on camera as well.
Yeah.
This is a different thing. Yes.
We've got fans.
So I'm just like,
fans.
so yes, sleep. Get some.
TLDR. No, too long. Didn't listen. Get sleep.
Beautiful.
Stay off your phone and get sleep. Get
Yeah.
sleep.
You leave your phone out the room. Impossible.
I'm never going to do that. How else am I going to wake up? Don't
Yeah,
tell me to get an
impossible.
alarm clock. Because my phone is my alarm clock. Alright. Do you have an alarm clock?
No, I have my phone.
Do you remember when those sunrise lamps came up and everyone was like obsessed with them?
I remember.
I kind of want one, but I also don't.
No.
Because they're like really expensive.
They are extremely expensive.
I had an app once, which was quite good, and it recorded your sleeping in the night,
Yeah.
and it basically, you'd say like, I want to wake up by 7:30, and it would wake you up whenever it was best in your sleep cycle, depending on what like your breathing was.
Yeah.
So it might wake you up at like 7:13, 7:18, 7:12, 7:22, depending
That's
on that.
good.
But you'd have to have your phone open and recording
Yeah,
all night and
most
have it on
actually.
charge, and that's like, it's not very good, but it was quite
That's
cool. It was
Hmm.
weird though, because I like whole numbers, so waking up at like 8:23 it's just I don't like that. It was a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? But it was actually quite cool. It's quite cool.
I'll have to give it a try. If you have any sleep apps, please let us know as well.
Update me with how much sleep you get tonight.
Yeah, I will let you know. Minimal, probably about 4 hours of sleep if that. I'm gonna go home now, sleep it off. Go.